Welcome, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don is Vice Presidente of Education of the Coulee Commentators Club. Don has joined Toastmasters over 20 years already, and right now Don is working on presentation mastering. Don also is, I said before, part of the team of the Coulee Commentators Club. And today we have many questions for Don about communication, public speaking skill, and also leadership. Welcome again, Don. It's my pleasure to have, and thank you so much for accepting the invitation. Don, thank you. We have different questions, I said before, about communication. What does communication skill mean to you?
In my mind, communication is two parts. One part is the message getting out, but the other part, an important part of it, is the person you're trying to give the message to, for them to listen. So the first part of it, getting the message out, is very, very important because you need to be able to articulate your message in a way that the person you're giving it to can understand it. And then it's incumbent on the person who's listening to your message to take the time to listen and to try to understand what it is you're saying so that the message can be properly conveyed from you to that person. And the whole message gets through, not just a little bit, but the whole message so they can understand what it is you're talking about. There's an author, Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he would say, seek first to understand, then to be understood. So the listening part, the understanding part is very, very important. Then when you get the message, but you can understand it properly, then you can grasp the message and understand it and move forward with it.
Two ways.
Two ways, exactly, yes.
Don, how long have you joined in Toastmasters, and what motivated you to start in Toastmasters?
I've been with the Coulee Commentators Toastmasters Club, and I was with another club in addition to Coulee Commentators for a while as well, but they're not there anymore, basically. Over 22 years, I think it's been that I've been with Coulee Commentators. And the reason that I started with Toastmasters was that I had a job with the Lethbridge Fire Department. I was the Deputy Chief of Emergency Medical Services. And what I had to do was go up to Calgary and go to different meetings about emergency medical services and different ambulance services within the province. And I had to talk and give presentations. And the talking and the presentations were disasters. And I realized they were disasters. There was a lot of mumbling and stumbling, and the message did not get through. So something had to change. So I joined Toastmasters, and from that I've learned how to package things better in my mind, how to keep the butterflies more settled in my stomach so I'm not quite as nervous. I'm an introvert, I'm not an extrovert, and public speaking is not something that I really enjoy doing. But you get into different positions in your life where you have to do things like that. And you want to succeed, so if you're going to succeed, you need to do things to practice those particular skills so you can excel at them. Or maybe not excel, but do better than you were doing before.
Absolutely. And communication skill, exactly what you said, is very important.
It is very important.
Yes. Could you please share your first day or any Toastmaster experience in the club?
I think anybody who has never been to Toastmasters and joins Toastmasters, comes in for the very first day, is going to be very nervous. We have one of our members that was very, very nervous for her first year as a Toastmaster. But what we try to do with Coulee Commentators is make the new people feel very welcome. And whenever they do their speaking, we give them feedback, but it's not negative feedback. It's to help them improve whatever it was that they were speaking about. If it's a table topic, or if they're given their first speech, every speech is evaluated and you get an evaluation back. Every table topic is evaluated and you get an evaluation back from someone. So if you're there to learn, you're going to get a lot of information back to help you out, to get you to be able to speak better. But the first day at Toastmasters is kind of a mind-numbing experience. It really is, because you don't know anybody, you don't know what's going on, and you're there to just kind of wait and listen and learn, and hopefully get more involved in the organization and learn your place and do better with your life. That's what the whole goal of Toastmasters is to help you improve whatever it is you want to improve on. If you want to get a better position in your job, then we can help you with that. We can help you with your communication techniques and how to get your message across when you're asked a question. So there's a lot of things that we can do to help out.
Absolutely. Don, understand the difference between management and leadership is another important part of any company, any organization, and today in highly competitive market. How do you define leadership and Toastmaster? Can you please explain more about how Toastmaster we can develop a leadership skill?
In Toastmasters, there is the public speaking side of things, but there's also the organization of your organization, of your club organization. There's a president, there's vice presidents, a treasurer, secretary, and all of these different individuals have leadership roles within that organization. If you're the Toastmaster of the meeting, then it's your job to lead the whole group through the meeting properly. Make sure that the meeting flows the way that it should flow. Same as with the timer. The timer helps you with making sure the meeting flows the way it should flow. And that's part of a leadership skill that you will build over time by taking on the role of a Toastmaster, or taking on the role of the general evaluator, or the timer, or any of the evaluator ones, because you're going to be giving the feedback to individuals. You're going to be telling them what kind of things that perhaps they can change the next time they give their speech to make their speech just that much better. So you're kind of leading them down a pathway to help them become better in their speaking abilities. So that within the roles of Toastmasters, the meeting itself is one thing, but within the roles of the executive, you have the president and the vice presidents that do different things. I'm the vice president of education. So
it's your role.
That's what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my role. So what I do is I set the agendas for the meetings to try to make the meetings interesting. And when individuals come to me with pathways problems or Toastmasters problems, I try to help them with those. If they have finished a level, then they submit something to Toastmasters. I have to approve it. So there's things that I do that a leader would do at a company, say. Like they approve things, they make things happen, they lead people down different trails and help them to become what they want to become. And help the organization be what it wants to be as well, which is important to our club, to be a good, strong club that attracts members and people want to come and they want to stay there.
So definitely help the club and the other position, help your leadership skill.
Yeah.
Definitely. And you actually explained that there are different positions, different roles in the club, and you mentioned. Can you mention, please, again?
Some of the different roles?
Yes. Your is the education.
Yeah. Right now we have a president, we have a past president, the one who was the president before this one got elected. And we have the vice president of education, the vice president of membership, vice president of public relations, the treasurer, the secretary, and the sergeant at arms, who basically helps build the meeting at the very beginning of the meeting.
Exactly. It's five roles.
With 5 or 6, yeah,
Five,
6
six,
roles.
yeah.
But then within the meeting itself, there's a number of different roles. There's, I thought I had
Yes.
a page here. There is the sergeant at arms, the toastmaster, someone who will be giving a thought of the day. There's the general evaluator, speech evaluators, speakers, table topics master, table topics evaluator, Humerian counter, and timer. And we try to have a joke master at the end of the meeting as well to kind of give the meeting a happy note at the end of it, that people enjoy the last little bit of the meeting.
You mentioned before how important is the evaluation part. What do you think about that role?
Why do I think it's important?
Yes, what can you please explain more?
What the evaluations do is to highlight spots in your table topic or in your speech where you could have done better. You could have maybe used more gestures. You could have used a different vocabulary. You could have used different vocal variety. You could have picked things up more or quieted things down. There's things that you can do that the evaluators will look for and tell you about. Maybe the topic that you chose wasn't really that good of a topic to be shared with the people in Toastmasters. Maybe that kind of thing might be talked to you as well. Now, not only in our club, everybody gets a piece of paper to evaluate the speaker. So the speaker might have 8, 9, 10, 12 different evaluations from people. Plus there is an individual assigned to be the speech evaluator for that individual. So they'll get a more thorough evaluation from that person. So they're going to get a lot of different comments on how they did things, what they did well, what they could have worked on. And it isn't just what you could have worked on, because we talk about what you did well as well. Things that you did well and could emphasize in your next speech as well. So it's not all bad news. There's a lot of good news in the evaluations as well. But the things that they do talk about, that they bring to your attention, are things that you can work on for the next speech. So maybe you spoke too long. I've seen speeches that were supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes, and the person was 18 minutes. So one of the things the evaluator is going to tell that person is, okay, you need to cut back a lot of things you have in your speech, because you do have a time limit in Toastmasters. Everything has a time limit in Toastmasters, because we only have the room for a certain length of time, and we can't be expanding it, too much. So then, when you redo your next speech, make sure that you're in the approved timelines for that speech, and things will work out better. If you go to a contest, if you speak too long in a contest, you're disqualified from the contest because you've spoken too long, too many minutes, or not enough minutes. The same as table topics. If you speak too many words, you're disqualified, or too few words, again, you're disqualified. So you have to be within the time frames. So it's important to be able to work your speech so that it's going to be in that. And you normally have between 5 and 7 minutes. So you've got a 2-minute window to get your speech in there and done. And with table topics, you have between 1 minute and 2 minutes to get your table topic done. Anything over 2.5 minutes, you're disqualified. Anything under 1 minute, you're disqualified. So.
Exactly. So 2 different things very important: the time and the feedback. I agree with you. I think that feedback is a gift that the evaluator can give to us. Don, from your own experience here in Toastmasters, what do you think that Coulee commentators have? Please tell me about the all benefit that Coulee commentators offer to anyone like me or anyone who is want to enjoy Coulee Commentators Club?
I think that the meetings that we have are good, educational, interesting, and I'm not always going to say exciting meetings, but we generally get, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, we rate every meeting, and usually it's either 8.5 or 9. So that means that the people that are doing the evaluations are enjoying the meeting. Which, 8.5 to 9 out of 10, that's a good score. It's a very friendly, open, welcoming environment. And if you get up to do a table topic and you can't think of anything to say, and you just kind of say, damn it, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and you sit down, nobody's going to yell at you, nobody's going to insult you, nobody's going to say anything negative to you. They'll say, well, maybe that wasn't a good topic for you, but I'm sure that when you get your next topic, you'll be able to do a lot better than you did today. And sometimes the table topics are only 25 or 30 seconds, and the people will say, well, you could have maybe added a couple more thoughts to your table topic and added it from 30 seconds to a minute, and then just to build the time a little bit better. So there's very helpful, very friendly suggestions that are given to individuals. And I'm not saying that our Coulee Commentators is the only Toastmaster club that does things like that. I think they're all supposed to be like that, but I know that our club is like that, because in all the time that I've been there, it has been like that. I think now more so than it was, say, 10 or 15 years ago, but now I think everybody's on the same wavelength as far as helping the people to move along to a higher level, which is what anybody who joins Toastmaster wants to do, is to get to be at a higher level than they were initially, in public speaking, in leadership, in whatever. We have had an individual who joined Toastmasters because she wanted to be a veterinarian. And she went to the veterinarian school and she applied, and she couldn't express herself very, very well, and she was refused. She joined Toastmasters just for the simple task of trying to get her thoughts more aligned so she could express herself better. And she was a Toastmasters for about 2 years and got the skills that she needed to get. Reapplied at the veterinarian school, was accepted, and now she's a veterinarian up in Calgary. And when she was with our Toastmasters Club, she met another Toastmaster, and they're now married, both living in Calgary. So.
Wow, wonderful. John, how the club has, I know that actually the club has one program that is a Speechcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please explain more about that, about the Speechcraft?
We have been doing Speechcraft now. This year, this next one will be our 15th year in a row of doing Speechcraft. And what we do is we work with the read-on program at the library, and they give us a number of students where English is their second language. And what we do is put them through either a 6 or 8 week course. We're talking about even doing 6 or 8 weeks this year. It's always been 8 weeks up until now, but we may be doing 6. And what they have to do is give a speech every week, do a table topic every week. There are educational sessions that are presented to them. They have to follow a specific curriculum. And at the end of it, we get to see phenomenal progress with the students as they move through the Speechcraft program. And it is something that we adopted 15 years ago, and we get a lot of commitment from our membership to be part of that and to help out. Every student gets a mentor. Every student also gets a read-on tutor to help them along with it. And we do the meetings. We used to do them on a separate day in a separate location, but now we do them as part of our normal Monday meetings. So everybody in the club is now involved in Speechcraft. And I think that's a much better thing, because it gives the students a better visibility of what a Toastmaster meeting is all about. And it gives the membership a better idea of what Speechcraft is all about and how to help individuals and to be a stronger part of the community. So.
Wonderful. Speechcraft, remember, Speechcraft is also a reading program here at the library. We are here at the library today, here in Lethbridge, and I think that is a wonderful program, and I think that the club made amazing job with the Speechcraft. Actually, I know Toastmaster for a Speechcraft, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that Toastmaster Club actually is a great opportunity for new working opportunity at the same time?
Well, you certainly have the opportunity to network with individuals within the club, but it also gives you the ability to formulate your ideas and to be able to communicate them with other individuals. So that would help you with the networking aspect as well, because a big part of networking is being able to communicate with somebody else. And if you're struggling with how to communicate with somebody, Toastmasters can help with that. And the better you can explain your ideas to somebody else and get them to understand your ideas, the better you can make a connection, and I think the better you'll be able to work with your whole networking ideas. And if you have the confidence to do that, then you'll likely do more of it. And the more you do, the more success you're going to have by doing it. So again, Toastmasters can help you build the confidence to give you the confidence to get out there and try different things. And that's one of the biggest things about Toastmasters is that we try to get people out of their comfort zone and put them into something that they haven't done before. Like if you join Toastmasters, you've never been a Toastmaster, you've never been a grammarian, you've never done a speech, you've never done any of these things. We want you to do all of those things. So over time, you're going to be the Toastmaster. You'll be the grammarian. You'll be the evaluator. You'll give speeches. You'll do all of those things. And you'll step out of your comfort zone into something you're not too sure if you can do it. But if you do it, you're going to get good feedback and you're going to get compliments. You're going to get some accolades for what you've done. And even though there might be some things that could have been done better, there are going to be a lot of things you did well. So that's what you need to focus on, is what you've done well at, and then that puts that task, that aspect of things now more in your comfort zone than out of your comfort zone. So now you've done one speech, okay, now you're going to do another speech. The first one wasn't that bad, so I'll do another one, or a third one, or a fourth one. Like I did a speech at Toastmasters a while ago talking about the fear of public speaking and how it is the number one fear of most people in the world, more than death. Death is like number 2 or number 3 or 4 or 5. People would rather die than give a speech. Nobody's died giving a speech. People have died doing other things, but nobody's died giving a speech. And once you realize that you're not going to die when you give that speech, then likely you can do more and more and more and more and get better and better and better at it. And you feel more comfortable. The more comfortable you feel, the better you're going to be at it.
Exactly. No, still I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
It's okay? How you feel so far?
Good.
Thank you. What is Toastmaster for you, your own opinion? 5 tips on how to be a good communicator. 5 tips.
Well, I looked at the questions that you gave me, and I didn't know what Toastmasters' 5 tips were, so I looked it up on the internet.
Yes.
And what they said was the first one is to know your subject. And I think that's very, very important. When you're giving a speech, you should know what it is you're talking about. The audience should look at you as an expert in your field, or at least someone very knowledgeable in your field. And you only have to speak for between 5 and 7 minutes. When you do your speech on anything, you're likely going to be doing a lot of research on what it is you're going to be talking about. And you could likely fill a speech of 15, 20, or 25 minutes. But all you really need to do is 5 to 7 minutes of that time frame.
So the first tip is learn your topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you need to know what it is you're talking about.
Exactly.
And not just for yourself as giving the speech, but for your audience. The audience has to believe that you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
If you go up there and start talking about something and the audience doesn't think you know what you're talking about, then your speech now has no value at all. But if people look at you and they say, you did your speech on Cuba.
Exactly.
Right? You've been to Cuba, you know Cuba. So you're an expert in that field, you know it. So nobody's going to look at you and say, she's never been to Cuba. But you have, so that's what's very important.
Exactly. Know your topic very well.
Yeah, exactly.
The second tip.
The second thing was to know your audience and your space. Now, when you do your speeches in a Toastmasters environment to your members, you know who it is you're talking to. But you might be called to do a speech. Say you're a university professor and you're going to be talking about some different research that you've been doing. But the people that they want you to talk to are a bunch of kids. Well, you can't be using the kind of language that you would be using if you're talking to a bunch of other professors.
Exactly.
It has to be the kind of language that's going to suit the audience. So you need to know the audience that you're going to be talking to, and you've got to know where it is you're going to be talking. So in Toastmasters Club environment, you're in a very fixed space with a very fixed audience. You know who they are, and you know what kind of language you can use. So but if you do step out of that environment to another one, then you have to know what it is you're going to be doing, where it is you're going to be talking, and who it is you're going to be talking to. Because that's important.
Another.
Third one is, if you're talking about something and you make a mistake, you miss a point or whatever, carry on. Very likely the people who are listening to you aren't going to recognize you missed that point. But if you say, oh, excuse me, I missed a point, then they're going to know. But if you just keep on talking about what you're talking about, then, or you could maybe bring up the point later on in your speech if you remember what it was and how to fit it in later on. You can do that as well. Cover all your bases. But the people that are listening to your speech, they're not going to know very likely that you've made a mistake or had a problem. So keep flowing the way that you've been flowing, and no changes, no stopping, no apologizing as you're going through it. Just keep on flowing. Keep going, it says.
Oh, that is important. No apologize in the speech.
The next one was to do some visualization.
Can you repeat it, please?
Visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah. So imagine yourself before you give your speech. And not just once or twice, but a number of times. Imagine yourself giving a very, very good speech.
So confident.
Confidence, but if you can see it in your mind that there you are, you're up there in front of all the people, and you're giving your speech, and there's no mistakes, and the crowd is very happy. They're watching every move you make. They applaud at the end of it. Everything was great. Then that's what you want your mind to say, because if your mind can say that to you as you're up there giving the real speech, then chances are it's going to flow very, very well. It's going to be very, very, very good speech. You're going to get the applause. Everything's going to be just the way that you thought that it would be. So it's very important to do that. Imagine yourself giving a great speech. And the last one was focus on your message, because what you're giving in your speech is your message. It's not about you. It's not about any issues that are going on within your speech, or oh, I forgot that word, or darn, I missed that thing. No, the message is what you want to convey to the people, have them understand, and take away from your speech is that message, and not how how you failed up there giving a speech. What they want to do is, what you want to do is have them see how you succeeded in giving your speech. So it's the message that you want to give.
Clear message.
Clear message, and not about you, but about what your message is. That's the focus, is the message.
Wonderful. I have your tips, and I hope that everybody remember Don Toastmaster 5 tips. Don, do you have any comment? Please you share with us your comment. I would like to ask how our friends, because here in the channel we have friends that actually their second language is English, and maybe they would like to enjoy Toastmaster and Coulee Commentators Club. So how our friends can enjoy? There is any social media, website, how?
They can look up Coulee Commentators Toastmasters on Facebook.
In Facebook?
We have a thing there, and there's a Coulee Commentators website that they can go to as well, and that will show them kind of who we are and some of the members that we have and when the meetings are. In order to access things like the agenda and some other things on there, you need to be a member and sign in, but for non-members, anybody can do that and learn more about Coulee Commentators Toastmasters. But if people want to learn more about Toastmasters specifically, all they have to do is go and type in toastmasters.org, O-R-G, and you get all kinds of information. Now, I have a couple of brochures here, and one of them says that right now there's 357,000 members of Toastmasters in the world, 16,600 clubs in 143 countries. And this is the 101st year of Toastmasters worldwide.
Wow. 30,000. I'm sorry. 350,000.
Yeah. Individual, that's who are members of the club right now. But people come and they learn from Toastmasters, and then they leave Toastmasters, they move away, or they get jobs or whatever. They satisfy what they wanted to get out of Toastmasters, and they leave. There have been millions and millions of people over the years that have been Toastmasters. So right now there's 357,000 people in the world that are current members of the Toastmasters Club. But if you were to just ask people on the street, have you ever been a Toastmaster? You'll find a number of them that have been Toastmasters and are no longer.
Wow, amazing.
Like not everybody stays in it like I did for 22 years.
So remember, we can follow, of course, you can follow Toastmaster, the club, Coulee Commentators Club, here in Lethbridge and here in Alberta. You can follow in Facebook, they have a Coulee Commentators page, and also you can find the website, and also every week, Mondays, right? Every Mondays, we have a Coulee Commentators Club, have a meeting, so you can enjoy with us the meeting. And that is exactly here, when?
It's at the Southern Alberta Ethnic Association.
Multicultural
Center. It's at 421 6th Avenue South. 421 6th Avenue South.
Here in Lethbridge.
Here in Lethbridge. It used to be the old number 1 fire hall once upon a time, but now it's the Multicultural Center. Now, if people want to get more information about different things about Toastmasters, all they have to do is type in Toastmasters on the website, and you don't have to go to the organization itself, because there are 16,000 clubs worldwide. Many of them have their own websites, and you can go there and you can pull off information about giving your icebreaker speech, how to do table topics, the Pathways program. There are so many things that you can just get information from right off the internet. You don't have to go to Toastmasters International. You don't have to go to Coulee Commentators specifically. There's just a wealth of information out there for anybody who wants to get it.
Exactly. Thank you so much again, Don. We really appreciate all information you shared with us, your own experience in Toastmaster, and how amazing Toastmaster can be for anyone. I completely agree with you. English is my second language. I think that Toastmaster is a very good decision. So, Don, do you have any comment? Do you have anything, any message, any final idea, anything that you would like to share with our friends?
Well, if what we have talked about today interests you, come to one of our meetings on a Monday night, 7 o'clock. We're from 7 o'clock till 8:30. We're the only club in town that does an hour and a half meeting. And one of the reasons that we do that is to be able to make it more of a leisurely pace as we go through the meeting, and to be able to fill the meeting with, I think, more interesting topics. Like we typically do 2 speeches every meeting, and 5 or 6 table topics every meeting, and the evaluations are, I think they're longer than they are in other meetings. You get more feedback from the people. Plus we have about a 5 or 6 minute break in the meeting as well, and people can chat during there. So it's a very nice place to come. It's very welcoming, open atmosphere, and we'd be happy to see anybody come along, and hopefully you could even join.
Yes.
That's important for us too, is to have new members. You know, I should say that there is, if you come just to visit, and you can come and visit for a number of meetings, and that's okay. But at some point, we would kind of like you to join if you're enjoying yourself at Toastmasters. There is a cost to it, because there is a cost for us for the meeting room. So we have to recoup something to be able to have a place to meet. So, and there is a cost for Toastmasters International as well. So between those 2 things, there's a cost involved with anybody who joins Toastmasters.
Thank you, Don, for highlight that. So it's good that our friends know that they can they can visit our club, and they can come 3 or 4 times, right? Before.
Can they contact you?
Pardon me?
Could they contact you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, they can.
So,
Yes, please, you can send, if you have any question, you can write your question here, or you can, exactly, they can send email to me, and I will definitely send to you, so you can, definitely, yes.
Yeah, so if they can contact you and you can contact us, then we'll know who's going to be coming at the meeting, and if there's going to be a whole bunch, then we can prepare for it. If there's 1 or 2, then that fits nicely.
Yes. Well, I think that it's a wonderful, it's my pleasure, Don, and thank you so much again. And I will say that to my friends here in the channel en Spanish. Please, por favor, recuerden suscribirse en nuestro canal, recuerden dejar su comentario, y recuerden que Toastmaster es a very good opportunity, es una oportunidad muy buena para todos. So, los espero el próximo jueves aquí en nuestro canal. Bye. Judy Ramos.